Hey guys, welcome back to Marathon Run, and in today's video we will be talking about how I did not get a job in Singapore. So ideally what I do is I travel to a country, stay there for more than a month and try to get a job. So I did that in Dubai and shared that experience with you guys. I did that in Canada and shared that experience with you guys, but I did not end up getting a job in Singapore. So in this video I'll be telling you what are the mistakes that I did, what are the things that you need to know if you're planning to apply for a job in Singapore. Ideally I have a good profile. If I talk about my profile, I'm a complete finance guy. I've completed many levels of CFA. I have completed entire financial risk management. I'm a certified financial risk manager. I've completed 10 certifications of National Stock Exchange of India. I've completed many certifications of NIS and SEBI. So I have a lot of certifications to show, but I never show that I have work experience. So I try to get a job as a fresher. And this time around also I stayed for more than a month in Singapore and I tried to apply for jobs. And in this video I'll tell you what are the things that I did wrong and why I did not get a job. So without further ado, let's directly jump into it.
Singapore is encouraging investment in robotics and automation, partly to meet a labour crunch in the country. Robots will serve customers in libraries and cafes and will be working on construction sites.
The move will help Singapore compete with cities like Hong Kong, UAE, Australia, countries like Australia and the UK. Its retail inflation is currently at a 14-year high, with its unemployment rate continuing to edge upwards.
First reason being there is a hiring freeze right now in Singapore. So I was applying for jobs entirely in 2022 December and 2023 January, and there was a complete hiring freeze in the finance industry. So as a result, the number of calls that I ended up getting were very low. So in Dubai, if I got 17 calls in a month, in Singapore, I did not even get 5 calls. It was just 4 calls that I got, and out of those 4 calls, I ended up just going for 1 interview. So that's the worst thing. There was a hiring freeze when I was going, but there are still some problems with Singapore when you're applying for jobs. Second reason being competition. There is extreme competition in Singapore. See, people in Singapore are very studious. They've done all these certifications. When I say all of these certifications, let's suppose in Canada or in Dubai, people get shocked. Oh my God, you've completed FRM and CFA. That's amazing. But when I say the same thing in Singapore, people are not that surprised, because the people who are graduating in colleges of Singapore, NUS, SMU and NTU are absolutely amazing genius guys and people, and it's very difficult to compete against them. So it's not like there is not a lot of competition in Dubai and Canada, but at the same time, if you're smart enough, you have done some certifications, you'll be par class. You'll be better than others. But not in Singapore. In Singapore, everyone is trying to do multiple number of things, and as a result, there is a lot of competition. There's a glut of competition, and it's not as easy as you think to get a job in Singapore. Otherwise, in Dubai and Canada, if you've done certain certifications, you're good, you're gold, you'll get a job. But not in Singapore, because there are many other people who have done these certifications. Third, and the biggest reason why I did not even get calls, was that I was not a PR or a citizenship holder of Singapore. Now, let's suppose you do not have a PR or citizenship. What are you left with? You either get a S pass, which is a pass you get for mid-tier jobs if your salary is more than $2,500, or you get an employment pass, which is for more than $4,500 salary people. Now, I came in the category which was $4,500 plus every month category, but I was in finance, and finance had that at 5,000. So if my salary was, to keep it simple, if my salary was more than $5,000, I get an employment pass from Singapore. Okay, so that's somewhere around 3 lakh rupees per month. If it is more than 3 lakh rupees per month, I get a employment pass. So the jobs I was applying for were definitely 6,000, 7,000 per month for each job. So that was a good thing. But the problem was, it is such an expensive thing for the employer, because first he has to demonstrate that he cannot find such talent in local market, which is very difficult to do, because there is already, in the second point I told you, that there is such a glut of people supply, that why would they hire someone and go out of their way and give a new job role when their own people are not getting jobs, right? I made a video about NUS and I talked about NUS people not getting jobs. NUS is the best college, and if NUS people are not getting jobs, why would Murad Bhai get a job? So that was one major reason. Second reason for this was, they also have to spend a lot of money in the visa process. So there is a $5,000 bond that they have to give me as a security that this person is coming into the country. So there are so many other expenses with an international worker in Singapore. That is why, as a fresher, getting a job in Singapore is very difficult. When you look at it in terms of Dubai, it's very easy. The entire expense for the employer is not more than, I guess, 50 to 80,000 rupees. That's it, 50 to 80,000 rupees, but you get a very good worker. And on the other hand, in Dubai, everyone is an expat. But in Singapore, they have their own people who are smart enough. So that is why getting a job in Dubai is way much more easier than getting a job in Singapore. Now let me talk about things that I could have done differently so that I ended up getting a job. First thing is, I could have definitely applied for more tech-oriented jobs. See, I have experience in tech also. So if I had applied for a bit more tech-oriented jobs, that would have been easier to get in Singapore. Everyone thinks that Singapore is the capital of finance. But you also need to understand that there is equal amount of people applying for the jobs also. So thinking that I'll get a job in Singapore which is finance oriented is slightly, misleading. Because yes, there are many jobs, but there are even more people who are applying for it. But if you're going for a tech role, there is still a lot of requirement in Singapore, which is something no one told me. This is something that I realized there only. Second mistake that I did was not show them that I had work experience. I should have definitely showed them that I have work experience, because if I had showed them that I have work experience, there would have been a greater chance of me getting a job. But since I showed them that I was a complete beginner and I was applying for such a high paying job, that was a very wrong thing on my part. So yeah, that's major mistake that I did. Third thing was the people I was trying to get referrals from. I was trying to get referrals ideally only from Indians, because I thought it ideally worked for me in every country, but not in Singapore. I should have gone out of my way and tried to reach out to local Singaporean people and try to ask them for referrals. That would have been a smarter way of doing this, rather than only asking my connection people to help me get a job. So that was one more major mistake that I did. Okay, so finally, do I think it is worth applying for a job in Singapore? Ideally, I would say no. See, I know that there are some people who have got a job directly in Singapore. Please don't comment that what are you saying about that. It's my experience, and honestly, I feel like it's very difficult to get a job in Singapore without work experience. If you have work experience, maybe then you can apply for jobs in Singapore. If you don't, it makes no sense to apply for jobs. If you are a complete fresher, you can definitely apply for jobs in Dubai. You don't need to have a lot of certifications. If you're smart enough, you can crack a job in Dubai. There's not a lot of good supply in Dubai. There are some smart people who are working in Dubai, but then still there are plenty of job opportunities, plethora of things that you can do in Dubai. You can also go for marketing. It's there. There are so many other things that you can go for in Dubai. Digital marketing is still so booming. AI and machine learning, you have crypto, all those places are growing in Dubai. In Singapore, it's way much more strict, because the number of people and the kind of people who are applying in Singapore is way far superior than in Dubai. So if I were given a chance and if I had only one option, one choice to take, I'll rather apply for Dubai, and then once I get experience, I might apply to Singapore. But directly applying to Singapore would be a no from my end, with the experience that I had. Maybe some people might have had a better experience. They can tell me in the comment section about their experience, but from my experience, I can say it's a no for Singapore. And with regards to the jobs that you should be applying, that video should be here. If this video has 1,000 likes, that video would be here. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.